got a house. And all of us will gather around and we'll sing and have a joyous time. I want you to know how that the only way a man can get you down, he got to get down with you. No matter your situation, no matter what you're going through, God is always there all the time. If you look up, he's there. If you look down, he's there.
with Jesus. All the way. Because what resonates in my spirit is these words. Jesus said to his disciples, unless you eat of my flesh and drink of my blood, you have no life in you. And they began to question or talk amongst themselves. What's he talking about? It sounds like cannibalism. How can we eat his flesh and drink his blood? And Jesus said to him, whew, glory to God. Amen. If you don't, you're dead, man. If you don't eat of my flesh, you're a dead man. And the Bible said they said this amongst themselves and followed him no more. Then he turned to his disciples and he said to them, will you also leave me? And one said, where can we go? Only you have the words of eternal life. I don't know about nobody else, but I'm going with Jesus. All the way from earth to glory, I'm going with Jesus. All the way. Because you see, when I got in this race, I had no intentions of getting out. I had no intentions of changing my mind and telling myself something else is better than this. It don't get no better. Till I talk this way. I just want to talk to church folk. It don't get no better than Jesus. I know we in the midst of March Madness. And I love basketball, coach, or referee. I love basketball. I've sat there all day long in my recliner and watch game after game after game. But you know something? Now, the church is the only place you can find an empty seat. You can watch Madness and they're filled up to the rack. Probably because they are obsessed. They're mad with the game and nothing gonna keep them from occupying a place in the arena. But for some reason, we're in the household of faith have lost that love. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. Where's our love for God? I don't know about nobody else, but I survey the environment. Anytime I'm in the church or the house of God, I survey the environment and I'm like Brother Hunter from Oak Ridge. I want to know who's still there. Who's hanging with God when the going gets tough. I want to know who really loves Him. Because if we do a little inventory, most of us don't love Him. We're just going through the motion. Whew, glory to God. You warned them a while ago. I ain't one of them preachers that show up, get you shout. I ain't one of them to make you feel good. If Jesus in your life can't set you on fire, ain't nothing I'm saying to cause you to feel good.
Amen. All right, Grim Springs.
The church, a survey, take inventory. Don't tell me you love God and you don't show it by your action. Glory to God. Amen. That's what the church is now. You got folk in the church doing things and they can't do it without fussing. They can't do it without raising a little bit of singing. Because the love of God ain't really in what they're doing. They're just doing it because they won't be singing. Oh God. You want I'm not going to fuss tonight, but what I want to do is, I like saying stuff to get you to think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Too many times folks sit in the house of faith and they ain't never challenged.
Yes, all right.
And that's why they don't get no better in God. They ain't never challenged.
Yes.
We just leave them alone. It's like Reverend Cleveland said, don't bother them dogs, just watch them. We don't want to mess with the dogs in the church because we're afraid they'll bite. Come on. So they don't get challenged. So church folk just do what they want to do. Act the way they want to act. Be the way they want to be. And don't tell me nothing till I'm grown. This is what a church is. Can you say that? That's why you got a little handful of members show up at anything. The rest of them put something else as a priority over God.
All right, Pastor.
So I want to shake your attention to this passage of Scripture. Turn with me, if you will, to Luke 7:47. Girl, I'm trying to, I'm sort of like you said you had a little laryngitis. The enemy started attacking me early this evening.
All right, sir.
I come home, I told my wife I'm just going to lay down for a little while. Next thing you know, I started rubbing up down. I just started chilling, couldn't get warm.
All right.
Next thing you know, diarrhea started working.
All right.
The devil, you a lie.
Come on.
And so my wife said, well, you reckon you won't get Reverend Douglas to preach for you? You want me to? I said, no, I'm obligated. This is who I am. This is what I do. I don't come up with no excuse to get out of it. I love God. And I know God's gonna hold me up. He's gonna prop me up and enable me to preach this message. Can you say, man? I know it sounds like I got a little fraud, but that's all right. I know who's in control of that fraud. He can't hop. To God say hop. Can you say that? So turn with me, if you will, to the book of St. Luke, 7th chapter, and the 47th verse. Are you there yet?
Amen.
The word of the Lord for the people of God. Therefore I tell you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven. For she loved much, but he who has forgiven little, loves little. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. For she loved much, but he who loves little, or forever forgiven little, loves little. I want to use for a subject tonight, how much do you love him?
All right.
How much do you love him? We sing this song, oh how I love Jesus.
Yes.
But I want to know from the body of believers,
Yes, God.
how much do you really love him?
Yes, all right, sir. Go ahead.
35 plus years ago, I preached this message. And I've never preached it again. It was my first sermon when God called me into the ministry. And back then, I only focused on the woman's actions. But what I want to do is talk about your actions.
All right.
Can you say amen? If I may, can I ask you a personal question?
All right, sir.
We're all consenting adults in here, am I right about it? So I don't think it'll be out of place to ask. My question is, how is your love life?
All right.
I ain't talking about that one with your significant other. Amen. I ain't trying to get behind closed doors. I I'm talking about your relationship with the Lord.
Amen.
I didn't say you loved him, you said you loved him.
Come on, preacher.
Amen. I didn't put those words in your mouth. You said, oh, how I love you.
Amen.
So I want to know, how's your love? Is it working?
Come on.
Is your love life working? Or are you just going through the motions?
Come on.
The worst thing I can do is pretend I love you
Yes.
with my false pretense.
Come on. Yes.
But the thing of it is that the proof always come out in the pudding.
Yes, Lord.
How much do you love him? You know, this day and time, you can't ask church folk personal questions. They get mad at the preacher
Yes, God.
and quit coming to church.
Yes, God.
I don't need an answer, but you need to know the answer yourself. Amen. Tonight I want us to take a look at ourselves and see how much love we have for the Lord.
All right, Pastor.
Yes, God.
Figure out how much love we have for the Lord. I ain't talking about regular attendance.
Yes,
And
God.
I just talk up in here.
Amen. Come on.
I ain't talking about singing in no choir.
Yeah,
I ain't talking about working in the sound room
God. Yeah, Lord.
every Sunday. I ain't talking about teaching Sunday school.
All right.
I ain't talking about teaching a little Bible study here and there.
Yeah,
I ain't even talking about preaching.
God. Yes, God.
What I'm talking about is how much do you love?
Come on. Come on.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes, God.
If I can answer this, if we can answer this question with a yes,
Yes, God.
that we love him, then we got a serious problem.
Yes, right.
I want to back up just a little bit with this, what's happening in this story with the woman with the alabaster box.
Yes, God.
The Bible says that John was in prison
Yes, God. Yes, God.
and he was waiting execution.
All right.
And so he sent two of his disciples to ask Jesus a question.
Yes, God.
And he told them to ask Jesus, are you the one or should we expect another? And the Bible said immediately Jesus started casting out devils.
Come on. Come on.
He started healing the sick. He gave sight to the blind. He
Yeah.
caused the lame to walk and
Yes,
the
God.
deaf to talk. He even raised somebody
Come on.
from the dead.
Come
Then
on.
he looked at those two servants of John and he said, tell John,
Yes, God.
when you go back, tell him what you see and hear.
Come on. Come on.
How the dead lame walk
Come on.
and the deaf talk.
Yes, God.
Can you say amen? And the sick get well, and those that are dead are brought back to life. Just tell him those things. And then when he finished, a Pharisee said to him, come to my house
Yes, God.
for dinner.
Yes, God.
Can you say amen? I want you to come to my house. Not that he wanted to, he loved Jesus, but he wanted to figure out something about it. Every now and then folk want to get to you or get around you so they can get a read on you.
Come on.
They wanted to read on Jesus, so he invited him to his house.
Yes, God.
Can you say amen?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know about it, but when they invited someone to come to dinner, the guests took a head seat at the table. And then everybody else got around the wall and began to listen to the two converse one with another. Can you say amen? They began to talk about some things, and all of a sudden the Pharisees start passing judgment.
Yes, God. All right. All right. Yes, God.
Can you say amen? But before I get to that, let me tell you what Jesus had to say about John.
Yes, Lord.
Jesus knew John loved him, so what he said was, he said to the people, called, their thoughts was, John ain't nothing. Amen. John's a nobody. He don't look good. He don't smell good. He don't dress good. He's a crazy man. And so Jesus asked the question, what did you come out in the wilderness to see?
Yes, God.
A reed shaken in the wind.
Yes, God.
What did you come out to see? A man dressed in fine apparel. He said, those that are dressed like that are in king's palace. He said, but what did you come out to see? A prophet. He said, more than a prophet. He said, man born of woman, there is no man greater than John the Baptist.
Amen.
Jesus was elaborating on John's mission. He stuck with it to the end. Facing the executioner, some of us will quit over anything. You let somebody get on our last nerve, we'll give it up. We'll throw in the towel. But he was talking about John's faithfulness. He done what he was called to do. He is a front runner. And all of a sudden, in the house, while he was sitting at the table, in come a sinner woman. I'm going to get to the meat of this thing. In come a sinner woman and fell down on her knees at his feet and began to cry uncontrollably. Can you say amen? Begin to cry uncontrollably until she saturated his feet with her tears and began to wipe him dry with the hair of her head. Can you say amen? And while she was doing all of this, the Pharisee was sitting in church. You know how we are. If folk ain't like us, ain't where we are, we talk about them. We don't do it to their face. We talk about them under our breath. If he was a prophet, if he was a prophet, he would have known what kind of woman this was that touched him. And she is a sinner if he was a prophet. And God in the flesh, Jesus was God in the flesh, looked at the Pharisee and began to say to him, I have something to say to you. And the Pharisee had no clue that Jesus knew what was on his mind. He said, say on. You don't mind folk talking long as they don't know nothing about what you're doing. So he didn't know he knew what he was thinking. He said, say on. So Jesus, he didn't slam him like we do each other. He didn't slam him like we do each other. He began to talk with him. He said, what shall I lack in this generation? As children sitting in the marketplace. In other words, this generation is like children that dance to what they want to hear played. If they don't hear their music, they ain't gonna dance. Can you say amen? Then he began to look at the Pharisee and turned and looked at the woman. Still talking to the Pharisee. He said, you see this woman? Glory to God. Sometimes it takes God putting in her place. Putting us in her place. He said, you see this woman? From the time she walked in, she had not quit crying. Come on. Glory. From the time she walked in, she'll not quit anointing me. From the time she walked in. All right. In other words, she's still doing what she's doing out of love. She's still crying because she loves me. She's still crying because she loves me. She's still wiping my feet with her hair
God. Yes, God.
Most folk in church
Yes, God.
only do what they do for God for what they can get out of it.
Hallelujah. All right. Yes, God. That's the truth. Yes, God.
Amen. We only do what we do for God for what we can get out of it.
Yes, God.
I've mowed the grass at Believer for 30-something plus years, and I ain't ever asked the church to get by the gas.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
But most folk won't do nothing for the church
Come on. Come on.
unless you pay.
Yeah.
But we love him anyhow. Oh, how I love Jesus.
Watch out, preacher. Amen. Amen.
Make it play.
I don't know about you, but I took ownership of this thing called salvation. I'm grateful that he saved me, that he sanctified me. I'm grateful that he filled me with his precious Holy Ghost. I'm grateful that he took my feet out of the muck and the mud and put them on a solid foundation. I'm grateful. So every day of my life, I'm going to show him, not only show him, but I'm going to prove to him that I love him.
Yes, God.
Some of us don't forget where we come from. So let me tell you where I come from. I come out the nightclub. I come out the juke joints. I come out the reefer smoke. Jesus took me up out the mall. And he took me out of the mall. And he set my feet on a solid foundation. And every day of my life, I'm going to prove to him if he kills me that I love him. I ain't going to stop to love him. My nose is open. And I'm hooked on Jesus. I know, Brother Steve, I was on my way to hell at a breakneck speed. I had no God on my side. But then the master of the sky heard my discouraging cry. Now, save my mind. That's why I'm a church junkie. That's why I love the Lord. That's why I'm going to be in the house of worship every chance I get. Because he saved. He didn't save me from a little. He saved me from a lot. I was sinking deep in sin.
Preach, Pastor. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes we get too busy doing our own thing. Putting value on what we think is more important. And we find ourselves in the same situation that Martha was in. When she was in the kitchen preparing a meal and got mad at Mary because she wasn't helping her cook dinner. And said to Jesus, you need to talk to that woman. Ain't no folks in the church like that. You need to talk to her. I'm in there slaving over this stove. I'm sweating like a mule. And all she's doing is sitting at your feet. And Jesus said, oh Mary. Oh Mary. Oh Mary. You're trouble over anything. But this man, not Mary, but Martha. Help me hold her. Oh Martha. You're trouble over many things. And she has chosen the best thing to sit at my feet.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
Thank you.
I don't want to be a church goer. I want to be addicted to church going. The Bible said, fail not to assemble. And you got folk that claim to be in the body of Christ that don't go to church nowhere. And don't even see themselves breaking God's command That ain't God didn't ask you to do it. He didn't ask you to volunteer as a believer. He said, don't you fail to come.
Amen.
But that's what we deal with in the household. Attitudes that ain't based on love. Paul said, though I speak with tongues of men and of angels and don't have no love, it profit me nothing. I wish we could come up with a, I'm going to sit there here in a minute. I wish we could come up with a love detector at the door. What I want to know is how many of you get in here. How many of us are getting in the house? I mean, I ain't talking about no lips. Jesus said, many confess me with their mouths. I'm wondering if when you go in that love detector, come in the house of worship on Sunday morning, that it don't just go into lockdown.
Yes, God.
They don't exist, but guess what? It exists in God.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
Now we can talk's cheap, but guess what? God founded this thing on love. And if we don't truly love,
Yes, God.
we ain't gonna get in.
Yes, God. Praise. Yes, God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Go ahead, preacher.
I'm talking about myself.
Go ahead, preacher.
I'm not exempt. Guess what? I got to love.
Come on.
You got to love. All of God's children got love. This woman proved it not by her lips, but what she did. That notice she didn't say not one word.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
And guess what Jesus said concerning her?
Yes, God.
Wherever the gospel's preached, she will be mentioned. 2,000 years ago, done gone by over 2,000 years, and she's still talking about it. She wasn't not an old filthy sinner, but guess what? Jesus washed her. Washed her in his love, and he washed her. David said, purge with hyssop that I might be. Somebody need to be washed. Some of us need to be washed. Some of us need to be purged. Some of us need for Jesus' love to push all that mess that we got on the inside out of us. What is the greatest commandment? Jesus said, love the Lord with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and love thy neighbor as thyself.
Hallelujah.
We need to go on a love hunt
Yes, God.
in our church.
Yes, God.
Find out who truly loves Him. Folk that love God won't make a fuss about nothing.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
They'll just do it.
Yes, God.
Can you say, man? There's a woman. Ooh, glory to God.
Yes, praise God.
When I preached that message, my first time preaching,
Yes, God.
I was seeing myself.
Yes, Lord. All right, sir. Hallelujah.
I was seeing the mess that I was in.
Yes, God.
Glory to God. I was seeing what God was doing for me, how He was saving me, sanctifying me, washing me, and cleansing me. So whenever time I think about what she did, it was motivated by her love.
Yes. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah.
Pastor, I'm going to sit down.
Yes, God.
But everybody that tells us they love us don't love us.
Hallelujah.
They spend all their time talking about us, critiquing what we do and say.
Hallelujah.
how we respond to stuff
Yes, sir.
rather than praying for us.
Yes, sir.
The church that love you pray for you.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Praise.
Won't shoot you down.
Yes, sir.
Can you say amen?
Amen. Yeah. Yes, Jesus. Hallelujah.
I have something.
Yes, God. Yes.
Don't let Jesus say that to you.
Yes, God. Amen. Amen. Yes, God.
Don't sit up in church and talk about everything
Yes, God.
and everybody.
Yes, Lord.
Because Jesus knows
Yes, God.
what you're saying.
Yes, God.
Don't put everything down that you don't think's right or go your way just because you ain't involved.
Yes, God.
Because Jesus knows what you're saying.
Yes, God. Yes, God. Amen. Amen. Praise God. Yes,
I have someone to say
yes, God.
to you. Folk didn't like Jesus no more than they like me.
Yes, God.
Because Jesus would tell them to their face. He do it nicer than we do it.
Yes, God.
Yes,
Yes,
to their face. He called them, you generation of vipers. The church folk won't be talked to nicely this
Yes, God.
We don't want our feet stepped on.
Yes, God.
We just want folk to stick to the gospel.
Yes, God. Yes.
But God's coming back for you.
Come on. Come on.
Without spot or blemish. And He's placed it in our church
Yeah. Hallelujah.
to see the folks that's in the church will shape up or shape out.
Yes. Yes.
That's our calling.
Yes, Lord. Yeah.
Our calling is to tell you
Yes, God.
what God requires.
Amen.
Amen.
Yes, Lord. Yeah. Praise the Lord.
This day and time, you got deacons sitting down.
Come on. Come on.
Some things ain't going their way.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
I just ain't gonna do it no more.
Yes, Lord. All right. All right.
That ain't no love.
Yes, God.
You might not love me, but you better love God. Because guess what?
Yeah.
It's the only way in the entrance to the kingdom.
Come on. Amen.
The only way we're going to get to, I know we're saved by grace through faith,
Yes, God.
but if my works don't prove I
Yes,
love
God.
Him,
Hallelujah. Amen.
I ain't going to hell.
Amen. Yeah. Amen.
I'll say this and I'll say that. I have a burden
Yes, God. Yeah.
for folk that belong to the church but no longer come.
Yes, God. Amen. Yes.
Of course, I know my wife, she taught it Wednesday night. We live in a period of time, the Bible is fulfilling itself. The great falling away. Amen. You can't pull a Uzi on former church members, get them come to church no more.
Jesus.
That's sad.
Jesus.
Amen.
Yes, God.
It's sad that folk that claim to love the Lord, you can't get them to come. Why? Because of they disagree with this or that.
Jesus.
And guess what?
Jesus.
That's division.
Yeah. Amen.
And that won't get us in the kingdom of God. Can you say amen?
Yes.
So my question to you is, how much
Yeah.
do you love Him?
Right.
You just got your name on the road. How much do you love Him?
Yeah. Right.
And if you truly love Him, let your work speak for Him.
Yes, God. Yeah.
Amen. Let what you do for the Lord, only what you do for Christ, will last.
Amen.
Everything else is sinking sand.
Yes, God.
Amen.
Amen.
You get frustrated with one another, but don't get frustrated with God.
Yes,
Love Him till it hurts.
Yes,
And then if it hurts, love Him even more. Can you say amen? I'm going to leave it alone. God bless you.